Hello everyone, this is MC Aquella, aka Mahira, and yeah, it's been a while since my last video. I'll be talking more about videos and plans for the channel after the bulk of this video, which is about marketing versus lying, basically. This kind of applies to all social media, but I'm going to focus on writers and writing advice. So I've been in this self-publishing thing since 2017, and I wouldn't say I'm great at branding and marketing, but I've seen a lot of it, be it on YouTube or other social media. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. A lot of the ugly has been my own. Yeah. But over the years, so especially as we get to NaNoWriMo time, which is National Novel Writing Month, which is every November, is a challenge to write, I believe it is 50,000 words, and it's pretty fun, but it draws a lot of traction, and I think that a lot of people start to seek out writing advice videos around and in preparation for NaNoWriMo, which isn't bad, but this just is making me think of the two types of creators who are good at using branding and marketing to get people to watch their writing advice videos or read their writing advice material, that kind of thing. And so let's look at these two types quickly. Type 1 is where the branding and the marketing is good and the writer is actually qualified. So the writer could be writing top-tier books and be highly qualified to share helpful tips and ideas that could work for many people. And sometimes writers like this, sometimes their presentation is very terrible. So unfortunately, branding and marketing and being a really great writer who has a lot of great information to share, sadly, these two things don't always go together. So I guess that's about the importance of not judging a book by its cover. But anyways, sometimes you'll see a writer who has both of these things and you're like, holy cow, this branding and marketing is very appealing. I want to listen to what this writer has to say. And you will find out that the writer has made over $3 million or their books have won awards, or they've got years of publishing experience, and they're going to share that experience, but in a really catchy, good marketing kind of way. And then whenever you look up that writer's books, you find that yeah, they are good. They're very well written. They're competent for the genre. You understand why the author has been successful. The author is sharing from real experiences. This is great. You can learn a lot from this person. Authors like this are really an invaluable resource. And yeah, it's pretty option. It's pretty option. My gosh. Well, that goes into the other option, which is the second type of author who has good branding and marketing because the writer is good at it. It's good at the branding and marketing, not because they're actually qualified. So some writers aren't actually good writers, but their branding and marketing is really great. So it tricks the audience into believing that the writer is actually good at writing and that the advice is useful. But yeah, it's not the case. There's a really easy way to see if writers are being honest about how good or bad their books are. Just go to Goodreads and Amazon, look at the reviews. If there are 0 reviews, or if a lot of the reviews are I like this writer's social media content, but wow, this book sucked. Yeah, that's a really bad sign. Yeah. And to be fair, you really need to base any judgments you make off of the author's most recent stuff or most recent series, because it's really unfair to judge a writer based on a book that was published years and years ago if there's more recent stuff to look at. Also, it helps to look and see if the writer is giving advice that is that this person is qualified to give. A writer who has written just one book and is trying to sell a course about how to write a series, seriously? I mean, or a writer who has just written YA and is trying to tell you how to handle writing a variety of different genres, especially if the writer is trying to sell you something, that's just a massive red flag. I mean, maybe, and there are exceptions, of course, maybe the writer is an editor or whatever at a publishing house, or maybe they have other experience with a lot of different genres and how they work, etc. So you do have to look out for nuance, but yeah, there are red flags. I've seen them a lot over the years, and I still see them. And oh boy. And there's another more sneaky way that something like, there's a sneaky sign that something might be off. And that is the author promising something that literally cannot be delivered because it cannot be quantified. Okay, so like compare these two promises. Promise 1, I help writers write faster through using techniques that prolific authors use to optimize their productivity. Okay, like that line is not good marketing. A writer who's a good marketer would say that much better. But like this is an easily proven or disproven claim. You are either going to write faster or you are not going to write faster. Okay? And then here's the second promise. With my help, writers can save lives. Okay, in all fairness, I've never seen anyone promise anything remotely this terrible, but like you get the idea. A lot of writers hope that their books will make positive impact on their readers, because a lot of writers have been positively affected by other books. So like it's a form of giving back or passing it forward or however you want to put it. But like you can't quantify things like, has my book saved lives? Like you can't quantify that unless if a reader has flat out told you that I was going to jump off a bridge, but then I read your book and I didn't. I mean, that's, and like, who would say, I don't, it's just weird. And plus just the promise that with my help, your book can save lives. That is implying that if you don't listen to me, your book will not save lives. That reader who would have told you that he didn't jump off the bridge, he's going to jump off the bridge because you didn't listen to this writer who promised that with my help, you can save lives with your book. I mean, just think about it. I mean, people will die if you don't listen to this author's advice. Now you must listen to save the readers. This raises the question, do the books that don't follow this writer's advice save lives? I mean, again, this can't be quantified, but like, I mean, you can't quantify it either way. You don't know if that these other books have saved lives. You don't know if they have or haven't. Like, I mean, gosh. I'm getting really upset about this promise that I made up that some crappy writer giving writing advice made up. But it's just, I've seen things that are very similar to this where it's promising the moon, but it's not even the moon because you can quantify the moon. And then the implication is that if you don't listen to me, you won't have the moon. So you're stuck. Yeah, I mean, it's so weird. I don't like it. So, okay, so I think we've all seen like different types of creators giving different types of advice or paid programs or paid material over social media. And like, I think a lot of the creators who fall under the category of, I'm not really qualified, but my rhetoric is very good, I think that they do mean well. They're generally not malicious. They often have good intentions. And to be specific, I am referring to writers. I can't actually talk about all social media content creators, because I just get an inkling that the odds of them being malicious are a little higher, but that might just be because I don't know. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about that. But anyways, I still hate to see like young writers or new writers being sucked in by smooth rhetoric and branding and marketing, because like I've been there. Like I wanted to do things right and I wanted to save all the lives, and it's just so easy to follow the advice of people who act like they have all the answers and will help you to save all the lives. Luckily I was too broke to spend any money, and but like, I mean, if I had a lot of extra cash, for goodness knows why, maybe I would have, been scammed into some of these things, gosh. Oh, and I do want to mention that like there is a third category here. There are people who have good rhetoric and they say that they're like really good at everything. They can give you writing advice for everything under the sun, but like they're only really good at some things. Like maybe their books are utter garbage, but their advice on how to properly market and promote books is like really up to date and like really, really solid. So like, like I said, there's like nuance, I guess. You just gotta be careful. Yeah, and if you think that I'm being fussy because my grasp of rhetoric and marketing and all that isn't as good as these other writers who are making promises like, stick with me, kid, and your book will cure cancer, then like, yeah, sure, I'll admit it. Their marketing skills are a billion times better than mine. It's totally true. How awful would it be if someone said that, like, I can help you make books that cure cancer? It would be, okay. Anyways, let me know your thoughts about this down below. Have you been sucked into, like, writing advice or art advice that, like, later on you realize was bad, or just this person really wasn't qualified, so you learned some things that you kind of had to unlearn? Let me know your thoughts on that down below. And again, I really do think that I think and hope that the majority of people who are doing this kind of thing do mean well. And so yeah, it's generally best to assume that people mean well. But, you know, that's, you gotta be careful either way. Anyways, I know I haven't been posting very much at all, because what I used to do starting way back in April, whenever I started posting on this channel, was that I would make a bunch of videos in advance, like a month or so in advance. Like all the stuff that came out in August, like I finished all that in July, but like August was just insane, so I didn't have anything prepared for September. So maybe I'll be getting into doing more stuff now that, like, Preptober is coming. I do plan on doing NaNoWriMo. I will be a Nano Rebel, but I really enjoy being more active with writing during Nano. It's just a lot of fun. So anywho, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye bye.